Namaste, greetings to all, and welcome to another edition of One Way of Thinking About It. One Way of Thinking About It is a Q&A platform where we take up questions from individuals around the world. And we take about 10 minutes to answer these questions from our deepest understanding at this present moment. So with the foundation laid, let's get into it. So our question today comes in from Utah. Utah checking in. Thank you. Welcome. So our question reads, how do you determine which things you are capable of changing about yourself and which things you would be better off accepting about yourself in order to find peace? This is a great question. This is an age-old question. This is a question that I used to, I still question, but I used to question this question a lot in my youth and early adulthood. And I used to go to the serenity prayer to find peace or solace or some sort of understanding when I had this question and I was unable to break it down and get to the depth of it and really find true understanding. So the serenity prayer goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So let's take a little time to break this down and let's start at the bottom. We have to start at the bottom. God grant me the wisdom. God grant me the wisdom to understand the difference. So I don't know about the grant part, but one thing that I have started to understand is how to develop wisdom. So first, you have to take in higher knowledge. It starts with higher knowledge of whatever it may be that you are wanting to grow in. You want the highest knowledge. So if it's spiritual, if it's financial, if it's relationship wise, you want to go to the highest knowledge. You don't want to be just talking to your neighbor or somebody that then had a thought about something or a feeling about something and is just spewing off some words. That's not going to help you to elevate. So once you take in higher knowledge, now you have to reflect upon this knowledge. You have to contemplate upon this knowledge. You have to use your intellect to really think about this knowledge. Put it to the test, the reason and logic. Analyze this knowledge to really see the truth. If this is truth, does this resonate? Where does this come from? Is this truth that is being spoken, this knowledge that I have taken in? So once you have gone through this process, now this knowledge has transformed into understanding. Now you understand the knowledge that you have taken in. Once you have truly understood this knowledge, now you start to live by it. And once you start to live by it, now you become wise. This knowledge has transformed into wisdom. So now that we understand how to get to the wisdom part, let's go back to the question. How do you determine which things you are capable of changing about yourself? So with changing things about ourselves, now we have to go to spiritual knowledge. We have to go to high spiritual knowledge. Why spiritual knowledge? Because spirituality deals with the individual, deals with the subject. Now you're starting to look inside, and this is what spirituality does. If I wanted to know about finance, then I would go to a Warren Buffett. I would go to someone who a high intellect of that knows about knowledge, that knows about the outside world. But when we want to know about ourselves, we go to spirituality, because that is what spirituality is. We're no longer looking outside ourselves for the solution. We have turned inside. We know that it's not the world, our kids, our job, or money, all these things. We know that this is not the problem. We know that the problem lies within us. And higher spiritual knowledge can help us to understand this, to grow, and to eventually evolve and to change what needs to be changed and accept what cannot be changed and what doesn't need to be changed. So with that, first off, we need to find higher spiritual knowledge. Once we have taken in this knowledge, again, we need to reflect upon this. We don't blindly take this knowledge in. We do not blindly accept what a preacher, a pastor, what a guru, what an enlightened, what a great sage, what anybody is saying. We question these things. We contemplate about these things. We see how this relates to us. We put it through the fire. We have to. Otherwise, you're never going to move to that next step of understanding it for yourself. And this is what stops knowledge from ultimately transforming into wisdom and changing our lives. So we're truly living about it, because we never really, if we blindly accept knowledge at the core of it, we never really trust it. So we never really live by it. We might halfway, we're like, do a little this, do a little that, but we never truly trust it. So then we never truly understand it, and we never truly live by it. So therefore, we do not become wise from it. It does not transform into wisdom. So once we have found this knowledge that we want to take in, we contemplate upon it. We reason, see if it holds up against logic, and then once it does or it does not, then we move on from there. So saying that it holds up, now we start to live by this. And the spiritual teachings that I know of that speak of changing something about ourselves. First, the first part, it goes back to the serenity prayer. First, accept the things that I cannot change. And you have to dig deeper into that, and you have to accept all of the things about yourself. First of all, we have to accept everything about us. And accepting these things does not mean that we need to express them, and definitely not suppress them. Okay, accepting them means that we have become aware of it, that we are looking at these things, and we're saying, okay, this is a part of me, good, bad, ugly, whatever it may be. But until we accept it, we cannot move past it. Because if we are trying to demonize it or say it's the best thing, it's going to stay. It's going to create a stronghold. Once we accept it and become aware of it, now we can say, okay, does this serve me at this time? Is this serving me? Is this helping me get to ultimately where I want to get to? And that can only happen with acceptance. So once we've accepted, now we can start to question, where did it come from to begin with? See if we can get to the root of the issue or the problem or whatever it may be. If we can get to the root of it, then we have to question and keep questioning, saying, whatever it may be, why am I not okay? Why am I not okay about this? Where did this come from? Why am I not okay about this? Asking these questions can help us to get off the surface and go deeper and deeper and deeper into our past, our history, and find out where this stems from. And then once we have traced it back, now we can pull it up from the root. Now we can begin to release this, heal from it, and allow it to fall away naturally. The same way as a child grows from their toys into a teenager, that now they have other attachments that they have, and then a teenager loses those attachments and grows into a young adult and has attachments, and you lose those attachments and then grow into an adult or an older person. And the attachments that we had as a child, the toys and dollies that we played with, somehow those fall off, just automatically fell away, and then we moved into other things. The reason why at each stage of our life we have attachments that somehow seem to just fall away, and then we move on, is because we grow. So through growing, through growth, again, through the knowledge. As a child, you played with toys, you didn't know anything different. As you grew, started to like, ooh, what about this bike? What about these video games? You started to see and experience other things. So automatically, the toys had dissolved, fell away to the wayside. And the same thing as when you were a child, and then the bikes fell, and then you moved into a teenager, and so on and so on. What the common denominator in all of that is the knowledge of something else and the growth that you went through. You didn't have to do anything to change, but grow from the new knowledge and the understanding and the wisdom of that. And then what you were holding on before naturally dissolved, naturally fell away. It's the same thing now, but right now we believe that we are grown. We feel like this is it. There's no more to grow. This is it for us. But this is where taking in higher knowledge will help to expand you and help to expand your mind to know that there is more, and allow you to see, is this something that I need to change? Is this something that I'm capable of changing? Or is this something that I need to understand that this is a part of me? And it's okay. This is everything that is happening to us, is happening for us. Everything that we have at this time, everything that we are, is for our ultimate growth. So this is one way of thinking about it. If you have any questions, comments, or clarifications, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. Such a great question, powerful question. We might circle back around to this question one day to add in a little bit more on this. I know I had to just wrap it up quickly. So until the next time, much love, health, peace, prosperity to all, and namaste.